Don't do it. Please don't do it. Manny Robles, trainer of Andy Ruiz, tells Anthony Joshua he wouldn't take that immediate rematch with Ruiz if he was training Joshua. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Man, new media, we've been doing real good. Appreciate everyone. Shout out to everybody for just all the support. Smash the like button. The real is back. ESPN Deportes, they have an interview with, Manny Robles, who's the trainer of Andy Ruiz. And the whole team is making a huge splash in the boxing world. They went from ashy to classy. I like that, in the words of Biggie Smalls. They got an interview. You see Manny Robles recommends Joshua not take a direct rematch with Andy Ruiz. So ESPN caught up with him. ESPN Deportes said, if Manny was the coach of Anthony Joshua, I would recommend not taking the direct rematch with Andy Ruiz, but he is not the coach of the Briton, and he is the coach of the Mexicans, Andy Ruiz. He welcomes him directly to a new encounter, at the end of the year. So Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, they triggered and pushed a button on an immediate rematch. Joshua confirmed it. He said November is what they're looking at. I don't know if it's going to be in America or Mexico or the UK. I honestly think it'll probably be in the USA. I think Mexico would be great, Azteca Stadium, but I don't think Joshua, his team would want to go there. Different air, like the air is dense out there. And if Joshua had this rumored panic attack, who knows what would happen there. So I think they're going to protest and fight to not give that type of leverage to Ruiz. First fight happened in America, so they might try to make it right there. Eddie Hearn also said that, Joshua says UK is fine, but why not, erase this bad memory or revenge or avenge it, whatever you want to call it, in, I don't know if the exact state, I don't know if they mean New York or just in the country where it happened. But either way, it's a dangerous rematch, and everyone's saying the same thing. Says Manny commented in his fleeting passage through Mexico City before going to Las Vegas, where he will accompany Michaela Mayer. He was training with her. So he did this right before the Tyson Fury card. He's one of the co-trainers. Quote, in my opinion, if it's the direct rematch, it's better for Andy. Andy Ruiz already did 2 fights in a row. It was 15 weeks of work. And in my opinion, he's basically saying this benefits Andy Ruiz. He went on to say, if I was Anthony Joshua's coach, I would ask him to take a break, wait a year, choose a fight with somebody else, and do 1 or 2 fights before fighting with Ruiz again. Manny is a native of Guadalajara, Jalisco. That's where Canelo's from. He said, my duty as coach is to keep him on the floor, talk to him and not lose ground or humility, keep his feet on the ground. Let's enjoy the few days and weeks, enjoy it with the media and then work. The commitment is bigger. The responsibility is bigger, he stated. We knew that if he won the championship and we gave you a surprise, our lives would change. But in reality, you do not know to the extent it changes your life. By winning this championship fight, we were going to change the history of Mexican boxing. We want Mexico to have its first full weight world champion, but we never imagined ourselves this way, Manny finished. This is an incredible story. I'm surprised not everyone is not making a bigger note, not making a bigger deal of this. And this is huge. This is huge for Andy Ruiz. This man bubbled overnight. I could make you a celebrity overnight. He's meeting with the president. He's all smiles. He's on Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, this is just great. But back to the title of the video. I agree with Ruiz's trainer. And the funny thing is, new media, man. I told you where you guys get the fresh information, insight, thoughts on this boxing game. I said the same thing, and now everybody's saying it in the industry. You have Ruiz's trainer say, we with it. We get to take a little break, have this little victory parade and rest up and spend time with family. And the direct rematch don't hurt Ruiz. He's been active. He fought Demon Trinco on the card with Danny Garcia. Adrian Granado had a quick turnaround after the Granados Garcia card, and then got this opportunity in 5 weeks notice. Now he living like a king, and then come back at the end of the year. But I agree with them, man. This is a dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua, particularly because Joshua drew first blood, and I really try my best to kind of study the game. This is the second fight, major fight from Anthony Joshua, where he rushed his work, where he drew first blood. People aren't talking about this, but leave it to your boy Ego to talk about this. The second major Anthony Joshua fight in his young career. He had like 21, 22 fights, whatever it is. And he's under 30 years old. This is his second fight where he hurt the guy first in a major fight, drew first blood, and end up getting hurt himself not too far after that. So that's not good to me. The first fight, of course, was Vladimir Klitschko. The fight was, just boxing, feeling each other out and trying to land. But it was Joshua that dropped Klitschko. And then he woke the beast up in Klitschko, and Klitschko was like switched on, like, okay, I got dropped. I'm a veteran. Let's go. I trained, crazy. And Klitschko did very good in that same round after being dropped. Like Joshua, like I said, he's kind of like a front runner. It's like when things are going his way, you see the best of him, but it's what happens when things aren't going his way. You feel me? And watch the Klitschko fight. The round where Klitschko got dropped. Had he not got dropped, and I'm not one of those people that say, oh, if this didn't happen, oh, if he didn't get knocked out. But what I'm saying is it's reminiscent to Shane Mosley versus Mayweather in the sense of this. Mayweather, people sleep on this. Everyone just focuses how Floyd Mayweather in the second round after Shane Mosley hurt him twice. Everyone just focused on the 10-8 round. He didn't get dropped, but they say it's a 10-8 round because he was badly hurt and it was visible, right? So that's fair, 10-8 round. But people don't peep this. You got to study your boxing. Listen, when Mayweather got hurt in Mosley, rumor is he told Shane Mosley, all right, Shane, come on, Shane. You're going to have to kill me. You're going to have to kill me. You're going to have to kill me. You're going to have to, basically you got me, but you're going to have to kill me to get me out this ring, right? And if you look at it, Mayweather was a fucking dog, and he was visibly hurt, and then he came out in the high guard, and he laser focused, reminiscent like he was in a doghouse, and he started doing good in the second round. Just watch it, right? So everyone just remembers the huge right and Floyd clinching and they get hit on the temple and stuff like that. First of all, unlike Joshua versus Ruiz, Mayweather was super educated in that clutch, pivotal moment where, it looked like he was seconds away from at least getting knocked down, maybe even getting stopped. Very smart, very smart. Joshua looked discombobulated and it was moving around and looked real big and robotic. It was like a robot dipped a foot in the bathtub and like short circuited. It just looked really crazy. But beyond that, just watch that Mayweather Mosley fight. In that second round, Floyd started, he came out in the high guard, like, okay, this motherfucker tagged me, hurt me twice, let's go. And the killer instinct took over, and he started walking Shane Mosley down and fighting aggressive. That takes a lot when you hurt and shit to be smart and be that switched on. But, Mayweather's Mayweather. But anyway, for Joshua's part, this is the second time where Anthony Joshua drew first blood, and then the person came back and hurt him shortly after. Klitschko and then the Ruiz fight. So he's not learned. The Wembley fight was a couple fights ago, and he did the same thing. If you watch it, Joshua, he hit him with a right or whatever, and dropped Klitschko, and he fell on the ground. Klitschko got back up and started doing very good in the round. But obviously it was a 10-8 round just because he got dropped. So, that's the fair way to score it. But Klitschko didn't do bad in that round. And I think it was the round right after that Klitschko ended up dropping Joshua. And Joshua fell on his butt like, oh. And the biggest downside for Klitschko is Vladimir Klitschko at age 41, he was too respectful of Anthony Joshua. Like, okay, this motherfucker already hurt me. So he wasn't aggressive. If he had Emmanuel Stewart, rest in peace, God rest his soul. If he had Emmanuel Stewart might have got on his ass, just like he got on Lennox Lewis's ass in the Tyson fight. Emmanuel Stewart, Lennox was doing cool and winning. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing? You sitting in there with a dead man with this power. Get him the fuck out of here. You know, Emmanuel Stewart was going bad on Lennox Lewis. So I think, no disrespect to Jonathan Banks, I think he might have trained Klitschko. But I think Klitschko just needed more pep in his step, because Joshua wasn't really doing anything after he got dropped. He looked fatigued and, you know, and just trying to stay alive. It looked like he was real. Andy Ruiz, you know, true Mexican savage, he exploited it, because when he got hurt first, he got dropped and he's looking up at the stars and, you know, the rafters and shit. But he made an instant decision. It's either me or him, like Guerrero, you know, warrior. And he started trading with Joshua. He got up and got hit with a big right. Bow. Joshua's used to sleeping people, but the durability, the chin, and that stand up, it's like stand and deliver type of, I don't think Joshua was ready for that, because when it became a dog fight, we seen the much smaller dog. You know, he was weight wise, he wasn't that much smaller, but we seen look how small he looks next to Joshua. But when it was coming to like the firefight, we seen who won that, and Joshua never recovered. Ruiz, you know, to his credit, especially for a 5-week camp, he recovered pretty quick. That shows me something about his chin, you know, and his conditioning. People keep looking at his body, but his conditioning had to be up to par, because he recovered much quicker than the guy that looked like the bodybuilder. You know, a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing, so you don't break the little nuances down. They're like, oh, look at Ruiz's body. Fuck that. His body, but he recovered better than Joshua. So it shows me his heart, his chin, and he's obviously well conditioned. Joshua is doing like neck ups and muscle ups and pull ups and push ups and, you know, dragging cars with his teeth and shit. And he was the one that looked like he had stamina issues. So it's boxing, it's sweet science. But the moment Andy Ruiz made that conscious decision to, you know, I'm going out on my shield, he was able to catch Joshua was bow. And then he seen the reaction. Then he started pawing at him. Then he caught him with another left hook. Joshua went down. And then Joshua never really truly recovered and had a concussion and all types of shit. Legs looked done. So, you know, Ruiz might just have his number, I'm telling you. Because Joshua, he already let the cat out the bag. He already let this happen. So I agree with Ruiz's trainer. You know, they should take a year off. That's pretty, when a person has a concussion in the fight, that's very standard to take 8 months to a year clean off. They had Joshua making decisions, right, about the rematch 2 days after the fight. Not good. No bueno. That's not good to me. Why would you push, you know, just think about it as a team. Let the man relax. And then Joshua was posting these pictures at basketball courts in New York and popping wheelies in New York. It didn't look like he was just really resting and relaxing. And then he flew back to the UK. And then a day after he had been in the UK, he's with Prince Harry, you know, doing some kind of charity event. It's like, I don't know. I don't see that as being good. I don't see that like they're putting, then you got to relax and just recoup. And they didn't even immediately after it happened, just let it soak in. You know, that's why Joshua's demeanor seemed like kind of all over the place. 1 minute he seemed like he wasn't tripping, and then he seemed pissed off, and then he seemed happy again. Then he's popping wheelies, and it's weird. You got to let that shit process. But standard, you're supposed to take 8, 9, 10 months off, preferably a year after you get stopped. He got dropped 4 times, bro, and then quit, you know? So I agree with Manny Ruiz's trainer. Plus, you're not like, you making a person who's possibly broken, you putting them at the fork in the road where they have to make the right decision. If they make the wrong decision, career in shambles. You know, just like look at Kell Brook. Kell Brook is, they said he was contemplating retiring, contemplating it. You know, he took two bad back-to-back losses. It doesn't matter if one's from Triple G and one's from Spence. This will be the same situation. Someone who's built up here, and two back-to-back losses ain't good for anybody, especially if the repeat happens or it happens worse than the first fight, you know, or David Price versus Tony Thompson. I'm just telling you. So it's really a do or die fight. Andy Ruiz, you know, he's already living the life. He doesn't really have much pressure on him because he's the guy that's not even supposed to be here still. Joshua has to prove it was a fluke. And now he knows, because the cat's out the bag. Damn, even if I hurt this dude, if I don't debilitate him totally, he could catch me with something. You know, will Joshua have reservations about walking him down and letting his shots go, knowing that Andy Ruiz has fast hands and can counter him and can hurt him just like that? You know, there's a lot of questions. That's why they really should take a year off, you know, put Joshua in there with, you know, the people he was fighting in his first 13 fights and shit like that, to just make sure everything's good, get your confidence back up, and then do the rematch. But I told you guys what I think it is, right? Eddie Hearn knows he fucked up, so he's like double downing. It's like double or nothing. He's willing to put all the chips in that Joshua can correct this, even if it doesn't sound logical to real boxing fans, even if it doesn't seem sympathetic to do that to your fighter. Doesn't care, because Rematch Room lost major power on their American Takeover, American debut. They let an Al Heyman fighter that they didn't think would beat their fighter or could beat their fighter sneak in the back door and, you know, be quiet, eating Snickers. Didn't look like he was in crazy shape. He looked much smaller. So they thought it was going to be a routine The Joshua Show, especially after the third round. Listen to the DAZN commentary crew. When Ruiz got dropped in the third round, the guy from DAZN said, watch this. Look, because Joshua was, you know, he got back up, and the guy from DAZN said, look, watch this, because they thought he was going to lay down. But Andy Ruiz was like, fuck that. Mexican heart activated and started slugging it out and eating Joshua's shit. The adrenaline was pumping, and he set history in the process. Now, you know, Matchroom, Rematch Room, they got to do everything in their power to not let Al Heyman have all them belts. And they're taking a massive risk. The massive risk is, in doing this, you could ruin your fighter, which is what everybody is saying outside of Joshua and Rematch Room. Joshua, and the other thing that's kind of bothersome, worrisome, I guess you could say that's a better word, worrisome, is Joshua ain't making no changes to his team. So good luck to Anthony Joshua. He's going to have to get it right. He's keeping the same team. People like Lennox Lewis, people myself, say, hey, you might want to bring someone else in. You might want to explore other options. It's not no disrespect. Everything is riding on this fight for Joshua. Everything. So he could do whatever he wants, but with the same team, with 4 to 5 months to recuperate and train and figure out everything you just went through and process it, still be confident. I mean, it's going to take a lot. You know, this ain't like an amateur loss and you bounce back from it. This guy might have your number, you know, because you allowed him to get a level of confidence. You know, you allowed him to get a level of confidence, and it already happened. What was determined and destined already took place. Now that that's out the way, you know, Joshua, he's the one that got to avenge something and retaliate. Yes, I expect Joshua to be focused, but you know, you never know. What if he gets hit hard and then it's going, oh shit, deja vu. You know what I'm saying? You can be doing like, because David Price, if you guys look at the rematch with Tony Thompson, David Price wasn't doing bad in the rematch. See, I know my boxing, bro. David Price wasn't doing bad in the rematch, and I think he even hurt Tony Thompson, but he still ended up getting stopped by the fight's end. And then David Price was supposed to be the, you know, kind of Joshua before Joshua. He was supposed to be that dude from the UK that was a true heavyweight contender. He never really realized his full potential and made it to that. And then after that, he started getting stopped by other guys. He was a power guy, real big, 7 feet and whatever, wearing them weird ass suits and shit. You know, so he was kind of the Joshua before Joshua. Now it's all riding on it. That's why you see people like me, Manny Robles, Bob Arum, Amir Khan, you know, all these different people all saying the same thing. This is super dangerous for Joshua. He's going to have to. And then, like I said, I think he should be rested up. He playing ping pong with shirtless dudes, and he doesn't look like he's just, I'm talking about like really relaxing. He's traveling and just weird shit. He was back in the gym as soon as he got back to London doing pads and shit. I mean, whatever, to each his own. But me personally, I don't think that's the way to repair your fighter. I think you should take time off. Just do what people do. Like when Amir Khan got knocked out by Danny Garcia, right? What did he do? He came up, fought a guy from 135, brought him up to 140, Carlos Molina, and he took it easy. Same thing when he got knocked out by Canelo. He got knocked out by Canelo. Then he fought Phil LaGreco, who was, you know, had a YouTube channel and I thought retired. Those are the moves you usually do. And then he fought Samuel Vargas, who gave him a tougher fight than maybe he should have. But those, to me, those are the things you do when you're coming off a bad loss and a bad stoppage loss, particularly. You have to build yourself back up. But to each his own, you know. Andy Ruiz, he's representing Mexico and he's representing America. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm a fan of boxing, and it's great to see a Mexican American, you know, from California, like myself, who's doing well. So I'm just giving you my honest take and my honest opinion. We'll see what happens in the rematch, but looks like it's going down. Everybody's telling Eddie Hearn and AJ, I don't know. I don't know if you should do it like this, but you know, you hear Ruiz's trainer. They say we're going to take the fight. We're not worried about it. But you know, now Ruiz comes in with a lot of momentum. The location probably going to favor him. I don't know about the lion's share of the money. It's really going to be the battle of the pens, what was written and spelled out in that contract. But I'll keep you guys updated when we get more information as to exact dates and locations and venues. But I don't think Joshua should even do a direct rematch, just like you see all these other people saying that. But I mean, as a fan, I'm definitely going to watch it. And I can't wait to see what network it goes on to. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.